Now, the National Judicial Council, of course, has set up separate panels, and the reason is to investigate various allegations of misconduct against 2 chief judges and 13 others as well. The NJC's Director of Information says that the decision was taken after considering the reports of 2 preliminary complaints assessment committees on 46 petitions written against judicial officers in the federal and state judiciaries. A lawyer, of course, Dr. Fassy Yusuf, joins us now in the studio here to talk more about this. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
My pleasure.
All right, let me start by asking, how did we get to this point where an institution that ordinarily should be revered has now become something like an object of ridicule?
Well, I think the simple answer is that untamed corruption. Corruption that we allowed to lead us to the abyss. Corruption that was going to destroy this country. Corruption that has succeeded in making a mockery of democracy. And led us to where we are. And led us to where the temple of justice is being desecrated. And therefore, any leader, be it the Chief Justice of the Federation, be it members of the National Judicial Council, we need to address this issue before it destroys us completely.
And already there are criticisms from civil society against the panels, some of the personalities in the panels saying there's already promise of compromise because of this. What are your thoughts?
Well, it could be, yes, because some of them are lawyers, some of them are judges, some of them are justices. And you expect that people have something to say about everybody, especially those that have been exposed to public office. So it is not an issue. I mean, what is important is that we must, like leaders, like Caesar's wife, live above reproach. So if any of them is found one thing, I think the only thing the Chief Justice of the Federation, in consultation with his colleagues in the National Judicial Council, will do will be to remove such a person that will likely to affect the credibility
but with status
of whatever
quo,
decision that could be arrived at.
With status quo, are you optimistic of a free and fair investigation?
Well, I like to be optimistic because we cannot afford to be pessimistic about everything in this country because the world is based on optimism. So we believe that, well, this is an opportunity for Justice Salami to prove that actually the trust is not misplaced and that other members of the panel, that the trust reposed in them are not, it's not misplaced, and I expect that they will live above board and they will do justice according to how it should be done. All right, without fear of favor, affection, or evil.
Justice Mahmood,
yes,
of course, introduced some reforms during his time as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Do you think that the reforms that he introduced had any effects at all in terms of, correcting the ills that have been noticed within the system?
Well, one can only say that he tried his own bit when he was there, and it's only now for the current Chief Justice of the Federation to provide the appropriate leadership that will actually do justice to what we're talking about in this country.
Perhaps more reforms are needed?
Yeah, surely. I mean, the way justice are dispensed in this country leaves much to be desired. And the people, I mean, it's supposed to be the last bastion. It's supposed to be what the ordinary man outside there will have respect for. But by the time they see the ordinary man questioning the integrity of the judiciary, then we must continue to ask ourselves some questions. And we must do some searching and we must do some cleansing. Right.
And then talking about the integrity, let's focus for a bit on those areas of concerns in the federal and state judiciaries where there is the likelihood of corruption. From your experience, what are those factors that you think have been enhancing corruption in the judiciary?
Well, I think fundamentally, you see, the whole society is corrupt to a large extent, and the judiciary is an extension of the society. It takes a lot of people. I mean, it takes at least 2 people to be corrupt. I mean, we're talking about judiciary. there must be a giver and there must be a receiver. And at times there will be an intermediary. So we need to search ourselves, the judiciary, the legal profession, the litigants themselves. Because at times they bring about all these things, because they talk to their counsel, I can help us do this, you're not doing this. If I get another counsel, we're able to do. And a counsel that is not what is sought, a counsel that does not take integrity, transparency as its watchwords, will easily succumb. And will now endeavor, even if you cannot reach approach the judge, it gets to the judge through the registrar or through other means, or through friends, or through club association, through old student association, through family ties and all the rest. So you need to look at the whole gamut and look at the sociology of corruption. How does corruption operate?
Could this be the reason that many people have been saying that the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, for instance, has been losing, what appears in public opinion as high-profile, cases?
Well, no, not really. There are many factors you can attribute to that. First, the quality of investigation. Secondly, the quality of prosecution. And when you look at, when you talk about high-profile cases, you're talking about people who have money to dispense. People can afford to hire 10 senior advocates of Nigeria, who are brilliant lawyers and all the rest. When you talk about ordinary cases, excuse me, these are cases that the ordinary man who just maybe will plead guilty or will just take a junior lawyer to defend him. But to talk about high-profile cases, people who have access to billions of naira. So instead of going to jail, they are prepared to spend millions, if not billions. To frustrate any prosecution. That's not the case in elsewhere. I've advocated on this forum and other fora that, look, until we change our judicial system, justice administration system, we continue to have this sort of thing. Because we believe that a case must be proved, whereas why not have a situation where if you are alleged to have committed an offense, it's for you to now to prove your innocence. Not that the prosecution will have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And in the case of a capital case, beyond every reasonable doubt. So these are some of the questions we need to address.
Okay, and then I remember a while back when some judges were found wanting, I remember asking on this same set that if the cases that these judges have handled in the past would be retried and re-prosecuted because of those that may have been misjudged or mistried, as the case may be. So in this case, for those judicial officers that will be found wanting, do you advocate for their cases, the cases they've handled in the past, especially in the recent past, where they were found wanting, to be revisited?
Well, I mean, we have provisions in our various books. Okay. That look, if a case was mistried, you can always appeal.
Right.
And again, if for example now on the basis of a particular case, a judge was found wanting, or a judge was punished, or suspended, or removed from office, or dismissed, automatically it will affect the case. So on appeal, it's either the appellate court will order for a retrial, or we automatically dismiss the case or reverse the decision. So there are always provisions, and don't forget that if you talk about the case at the High Court level, all the High Courts, they have coordinate jurisdiction. The High Court of the state, the Federal High Court, the High Court of Federal Capital Territory, Sharia Court of Appeal, and they have coordinate jurisdiction. So a case can only go from there to the Court of Appeal. And if you are still not satisfied with the Court of Appeal decision, you can go to the Supreme Court. And that's why you have 5 justices sitting, unless it's a constitutional matter where you have 7 justices of the Supreme Court sitting at the same time.
All right, lawyer Dr. Fassy Yusuf, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.